Hi everyone, it's me, Decker, and today we are going to paint her crown. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is outline our person. The best way to outline is to use gray, so a lighter color, so then it doesn't ruin the painting that you're trying to create. So just a lighter color, and I'm just going to start with her head wrap. And I'm just outlining just by looking at my previous painting that I created. And I'm just doing the outer part of the wrap. And just doing the outside of it here. And, you know, if it doesn't look like how you want it to look at this time, that is okay, because we are going to, this will be modified, okay, throughout the painting. That's why we're using gray. I have to dab some more paint here. And this might look a little crazy at the beginning, but it's okay. It will look good as we go along. Here we go. I went a little too far down, so I'm just going to just fix that a little bit. Like I said, it's going to look a little bit messy at the beginning, but it's going to look good at the end here. So here's the outline. And we just want to make sure that we're doing the face part. Just keeping in mind, so what I do is I look to see what part have I done. So right about here is where we're going to do the shoulder. Right there. And see that? And then I'm going to work on this side here, where this is like almost like the ear area. And then that end shoulder part here. And just when you're dabbing, you don't have to use too much of the gray, but if you do have a lot, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And we're just creating the chin area. So here we go. There you go. The chin, you don't want it to be too pointy and you don't want it too square. Okay, there we go. So there's the outline. I feel pretty satisfied with this outline right now. Okay. And here at the top here, we're going to just and you know what? This is just the head wrap part. So this will be covered in blue, but we're just creating like those folds that you see on a head wrap, like so. Like I said, you know what? If it doesn't look how you want it to, it will eventually get there. So don't be hard on yourself. There. This area here, this whole area is going to be covered in blue. This is just your outline. It's almost like this gray is a substitute for a pencil. I'm just not using a pencil. We're just using the paint in our paintbrush. So the next color that we are going to use is beige. So I'm using my smaller paintbrushes to create this. Right now I'm dabbing it in some water. But here, just like the last one, I did use a smaller paintbrush as well. Not sure if I showed you that one, but it was this one here. But this is the one I'm going to use right now to fill in the beige in the painting. So I want to start with the lighter colors and then work my way to the darker ones afterward. So we are going to start with the inner part of the face here. And usually, like when you do a painting, try not to get onto the gray, and it's okay if you do a little bit, it's fine. But usually when I create a painting, what I'm normally doing is making sure that I do the background first. But because we don't have that much time, and we would require a lot of drying time. So I would say 20 minutes of drying time I give. We don't really have that time, so we are just going to do it this way. There. So we're just coloring in the inner part of the painting. There we go. Showing the strokes are really pretty too, so if you are showing some paint strokes, it's nice too. I really like that look. You're just painting the inside. And nicely painting in, just working it through one way and then working the other way. How are you guys doing so far? The way the paintbrushes are going up and down, I find that incredibly therapeutic. I don't know about you, but I really love, you know, doing the ups, up and down. There we go. So we've colored in the inner part of the face. Now what we are going to do is, it's almost like we're applying makeup. So the next part would be just kind of doing the outline of the facial features. So we're going to use this part here, this small paintbrush there. See that? And we're going to use our gray, because after we do this outline in gray, we're also going to outline it in black, and you'll see. So just making sure after you put the, I just had a little bit of water on there. So we'll start on this side, sorry. And we are going to do the eyebrow. So, and I know this is still a little bit wet, but it's just the outline, so you don't have to worry, it's okay. It's just the outline. So this is where we're going to have the eye section. That's what it's gonna look like. and then we'll go over top of that with black, okay? So it doesn't need to be laid on too thick and not too thin either. Just to give you an idea of what you're going to be outlining in black here. So just the eyes. And here, so just, I like to measure out for the eyebrows. So here, so right about here, just to make it a little bit even, because this is a human that we are drawing, and we want to make sure that she's proportioned. And it's not going to be perfect. It's okay. It's fine. It's just, this would be how you would create the eyebrow area so that it matches from side to side. There you go. And now with the eye part there, this part, we are going to end up doing that in like a brown. And here. And see this part will be done. We'll do it again, and that will be in black, but just so that you know what we are going to outline. It's starting to look good. A little bit here, and then the nose area. And the nostril area is close to where the eye is, so right there. There. That will be completed with like a brown and black, okay? So that's what we have so far. And then her lips, so not too close to the nose area. I put a little bit too much gray there, but we'll put it right here for the lips. And I like to start the inner part of the lip first and then work my way out like so. There we go. And the lower part of the lip. There we go. And then close it up here. You remember the outline of this is going to be colored in. So don't even worry if it doesn't look like how you thought it would look. It will. There we go. See? You can just fix all that's whatever you think was too wide, or you can fix that. There we go. I'm just fixing a little bit where I did because it was a little bit wide, and this will be all colored in. So we finished that part, and now we're going to work on, we're going to use the brown. So that's going to dry up, and we are going to use the brown, and we are still going to use this little paintbrush. So see this little paintbrush here? I'm still using it, and I'm going to use my brown. So let's get some brown. I have a big tub of brown. That's why you heard that sound. It was a lid. And here we go. So what we're going to work on here is the brown part. This part is like the baby hair outline area. And if it's still wet, it's okay. It's okay, because it's going to look good. It's going to look great. And you're just going to do the outline just like so. There. And I'm just dabbing. dabbing that brown here. I'm going a little bit outside of my head wrap, and that's because it's in gray, I can go over top of it. And that's why I said to do this in gray, just so that you can really fix the areas that you think didn't have enough or had too much gray in it. So here we go. There we go. And now we're going to use the gray to do some outlining here. I mean the brown, sorry, the brown. My apologies. And that's going to be outside here, like so. Just outlining here. I'm going to switch paintbrushes very soon. And here. And a little bit of brown out here, and then just dabbing a little bit. If you haven't noticed, I didn't have to put any more paint on my brush. I'm just using what's on my paintbrush already. If you have to, it's fine. And when I say have to, go get some more paint, that's fine. But just don't put too much paint on it. I'm going to grab some more paint now and do my outline for my nose. There we go. And outline for my lips. There we go. And there we go. So now that looks good so far. We still have more to go, which is this area. And you probably noticed that. And I'm laying it on a little bit thick. That's okay. There. And there we go, like so. See how I did that? And here, more brown, like so. And I'm doing like that whole dry paint method where you don't have to apply more paint to it, but you just use what you have, all that's on the paintbrush, like so. Okay. Now, the next part that we are going to do is we are going to use the black. And actually, you know what? We won't use the black. We will use more brown, and we will finish painting on the inside. And I'm using my thicker paintbrush for this because, see that? I'm using a thicker paintbrush. And I'm going to use more brown so we can finish up the brown. So laying it on a little bit thick, just like so, going back in the areas that I had the brown in. Just like so. And just little light in this area. And what you'll see is in the painting that I did originally, in the lighter areas, there is beige, but what you can do is use the white, or use white, or use a beige if you have beige, but use white and brown together to then create that lighter tone. So here we go. Put that paintbrush into the water, and we are going to use our white and brown to make a lighter tone, or use our beige. So here we are going to put the beige in here like so, there, to make it lighter. It's okay if you lay it thick, because it needs to go over the brown, just like so. There. And on this side here, on the inside. And it's okay if it blends in together. That is just fine. We have a darker color that's going to go over top of this, and that will be blue. We just need this to dry just a little bit. And so then we can put, she's wearing a top, so she'll be wearing the blue, and blue will be over top of this area here. So that is fine how it is. In the meantime, the brown, you're going to mix the brown and the beige together, or your brown and white together to make that lighter tone, and that will be on the inside here. You're going to paint in this area to give her that cheekbone look here. So like I said, I think I said it earlier, it's almost like you're putting on makeup, and that's what we're doing here. I'm going to go a little over top of the hairline here. There we go. Okay. Okay, and on the inner side and the inside, we need to put some white, and that will be in this area here. And don't lay it on too heavy, just a little bit. Okay, so you're going to put that around here, around the eye hair, around this area. Almost as if you're doing a highlight under her eye. If you wear makeup, you'll understand that whole highlighting I'm talking about. If not, then it's just putting it under the eye. And a little bit on the nose area. And let's try not to go over top of the brown there. So I just did that. It's okay. It's still, you know, you can still fix it. It's not a huge deal, but just to avoid any of the mixing there. And the reason why I'm doing it in this order, I'm waiting for certain areas to dry. So while the bottom's drying, we're working on the top. And then while the top's drying, we're working at the bottom. Oops, I went a little bit on there. It's okay. Looks like it's part of the eyelash. See, there's always a way to fix a painting. If you go over top of something, it's fine. And I'm just using what's the paint that's on my brush, so I'm not using too much white. It's just to highlight the area. There we go. See that? I'm putting a little bit of white, but not too heavy. And it looks just like so. See that? On my painting here, I kind of ruined this area. So I'm going to fix this a little bit. If you were following what I was doing, you probably may have done the same thing, and that's fine. Like I said, there's always a way to fix it. So I'm just taking what I used is the white just to fix the area. A little bit more here. There. So that kind of cheekbone area, looks good there. So here we go. The next thing we're going to do, while this area is drying right here and all of this, we are going to work on the blue. So let's get our blue out. I'm using a thicker paintbrush, so let me see. I feel like you would have this one, this type of thickness. There, see that? So we're going to get out our blue and we are going to use that and paint her head wrap and her shirt. So head wrap area first. And we are going to go over top of our gray. It's okay, just like so. See that? And just try to stay somewhat inside of the lines. Like, don't go outside of where you have the gray, if that makes any sense. And I know this is a thicker brush, but it's just so that we can take care of the area. See that? There. I have enough blue to use in more than one area. If you need more blue, please go ahead and grab some more onto your paintbrush. And I like to just go up and down when it comes to painting, especially for this area. And here we go, some more on this side. See that? We want to just cover the white areas. And then you can paint over top of it. I know you're probably like, that didn't even make any sense. Why didn't I just paint over top the whole time? You know what? it's okay. You want the strokes to go in the direction on how, like, you have how you did the creases of the head wrap. There you go. I'm just making sure I get all my gray parts here. And because you don't want to see your outline when you finished your piece. It'll just look a little bit silly. I guess you could make it a look, but there. There. Okay, so that is done. Now I see that I'm able to put the blue at the bottom part of my painting, and it's okay if it's not fully dry. You're just going to, there we go. See that? There. Get some blue. Lay it on thick too if it's a tad bit wet still. And it's just going in a diagonal, just have it going diagonally, just like so. And you're going to paint that in. It's coming together. There we go. Paint all of that in. And now we can do, this whole area here is now dry. So we're safe to use our little tiny brush to do the outline, the black outline of the eyes and the eyebrows. So I'm using this little tiny one here, and I'm going to use my black, and let's start with the eyebrow area. And you're going to just do little tiny strokes for the eyebrow, just like so. See, like that. And I can do the other eyebrow as well. You want to give it that illusion like it's hair on the eyebrow. There we go. Then we are, just be careful not to make it too heavy with the black here. That can happen, and it's okay. There's always a way to fix it. It's just that you need longer drying time. But here we go. We're doing the inner eye area and the lash. So enjoy this part. That's always a fun part too. The lash area, like so. And now the inner eye part. There we go. And now for this part here. There, from one corner to the other, almost like you're putting eyeliner on her. And careful with the lash area. Just want to not too, making sure there's not too much paint on it, but enough to complete this lash area. Sorry. There we go. the nose. We are going to put a layer of black here as well, just as an outline. There, and I'm just doing a nostril area here. I gotta change my paintbrush. There. And now the lips. I changed my paintbrush to another small one. There we go. There we go, the inner lip. And making sure that you don't get the inside of the lip area, because it's supposed to be as if like her mouth is a little bit open. Just where the brown outline is that you had, that's the only part that you want to outline. But say, for example, if you did go over it, it's fine. You would just have to wait a little bit longer for it to dry to fix it. There you go. Now we're going to just do a little bit of outlines for the shoulder area. So see here, there, where we have the gray, we're going to just go over it with the black. And using the same paintbrush that you were using. There we go. And a little bit of the jaw area, or the right where her chin area is. This is where you're, not jaw, because that's not the jaw, that would be her chin. And right in here, you're not outlining the whole thing. It's just makes it look a little prettier when you do it that way, you know, in my eyes. When I created this piece, I just wanted to do a little outline here, a little outline there, but not the whole thing. And then you're going to do a little bit of an outline in this area. So it's just where the eye is. And a little bit on the wrap and here. So right, see where the eyebrow is here? You're going to outline here with a little bit of black and kind of give it a bit of like, it's almost like you're doing a J, but it's not a J. See that? And outside like so. And just a little bit, I put a little bit, it's a little heavy with black here, but not so heavy of black, but put a little bit in here, just a little bit. And you're just dabbing. And just a little bit over top of, I had to go a little bit over top on my my wrap. You don't want it to be completely like a straight line. You want to kind of give it like some shape. So going up, a little bit down, just to give it a better illusion for like a hairline. So it looks like that. And I'm just going to go a little over in black where I have gray. If you have some gray too, I would just suggest that you go a little bit over with your black paint there. And in this area here, we are going to use a bit of the white and a bit of the brown. And this is to give it a bit of like a shadow. So, so a bit of brown, a bit of white, and you're going to go under here like so, where the lips are, to give it just some shading. There, and just to go over like so by the cheek area. And I'm just going to touch up on here as well. Oop. If you went a little bit on the block, it's okay, because I just did do that. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to show you how you can cover that. And like I said, a little bit of drying time and we'll be fixed. Okay, so now I'm just going to go a little over with a beige, or you can use a little your brown and white, and just go over a little bit here. And I think it's starting to look great. The inside, you're going to use your brown. So you're going to use a little bit more brown, and you're going to do this eye area. So like you're putting some brown eyeshadow on, just right here. And like so. There, and a little bit here as well. Try not to go on top of the block. You're just adding a layer, just a layer. See, just like so. I'm going to just put a little bit of brown here on the nose area, just right here. There you go. How are you doing so far? I'm putting some brown here, just layering a little bit of brown. And layering a little bit of brown here as well. A little bit more. And just dabbing around. And not making it too circular. You're just dabbing around. See that? Just dab with brown. Sorry if I didn't say the color, you're dabbing with brown. My apologies. There, see that? Okay, so we're going to use some more brown, and we are going to, my area here is still a tad bit wet, but it's okay. Just dab with brown around here. Not too close to the chin area, but along the side of it, and just right here. And I'm just dabbing. I'm not even using the paintbrush by doing the paint strokes. I'm dabbing. You can go a little over the black as well. There you go. And just dabbing. And in here. It's almost doing a bit of shading. Really, I'm just like shading. Not giving shade, but putting some shade on the painting. Here we go. Oh, she's looking so pretty, right? Okay, so this area I would say is complete, okay? Maybe just a little bit here of the brown. There we go. And just dab it. Dab. Dab, dab, dab. A little more dabbing over here. Okay, I'm satisfied. So, sorry, wait, just a little bit there as well for the hair. Okay, so now we're going to do this outer area. And that outer area is going to be with, it's going to be like an orangey, yellowy color. I'll show you. We're going to create orange. So we're going to put red and yellow together. And we are going to use, not too thick of a brush, but enough to make sure we satisfy that area. So if you have a brush that looks a little like so, my hands are all painty, then you're good. But just use the bigger brush that you have in your pack of brushes. And we are just going to paint alongside here. And just careful, just make sure you don't paint over top of your person because she looks so beautiful. You don't want to paint over top of her. And you're just going to, we're only painting the white area. So our mix of orange and red is only going to be painting the white area on the canvas. So just take your time. It's okay. We aren't running out of time. This is great timing. We'll use our little brush to take care of the area that's closer to our person. And there we go. See the color that I made here? It reminds me of mustard and ketchup. But it looks really great as a background. There, just be careful. Don't go too close. If you don't feel confident, just do the areas that you feel comfortable putting a lot of that color on. And then you can do the rest with your smaller brush. There we go. And there we go. So now I'm going to use the smaller brush to do the rest of the white area. So I'm going to use this little guy here. See that? Closer. There we go. And I'm going to do this area. I feel more confident when I use the tiny brush to do areas like this. Just because you don't want to ruin the painting that you put together. I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning, but typically I make sure that I do the background first, but because this is a paint night, we don't have time for all of that drying. So we have to do it this way, which is still a good way. There's no perfect way of doing it. If you're a creator, you create as you please. There's no right or wrong way. Remember, I said that to you. But what I feel works best for me is to really do the background first. Here we go. And you're just getting all the white area that you had. And if you got a little bit on the head wrap, a little bit of that orangey color or background, it's fine, because once it dries, you can correct it with the blue. The area that you went over top, it's fine. You can just fix it, put the blue on it, and it'll be perfect. Just think about it. You created this piece. You did this. And it looks fabulous. I'm just getting all the white parts here. And I'm really trying to just continue with stroking up and down, you know. There we go. And there we go. So I hope you have your sponge, because what we're going to do with this sponge is we're going to do something a little bit fun. So you see how we have this color? We used orange. Sorry, to make this orange, we used red and a yellow to make our ketchup and mustard color. So what we're going to do next is, here I'm just painting over the areas where I can see my strokes. So what we're going to do is use our sponge, and we are going to dab it with some yellow. So pour out a little bit of yellow, not too much, just a tiny amount of yellow. And we're going to use our sponge to put a little bit. So dab it, put the yellow onto your palette, then put the sponge into the yellow that you poured out. And see, it will be on your sponge like so. Oops, my paint just tipped over. And you're just going to dab some of the yellow on like so. And you're going to put a little bit more yellow on there if you didn't get enough on there. And I love doing this. It's you don't see your paint strokes either when you dab with your sponge. Sometimes you want to have that. I like the paint stroke look. It's really pretty being able to see the paint, the stroking of the paint that you put on the canvas. But this gives it a really nice clean finish. And not only that, the color, I really enjoy seeing this color against the blue. It's so pretty. In my eyes, that is. I think it's really pretty. And we're just dabbing. And you don't have to go too slow. You don't have to go too fast. Just go at a speed where you feel comfortable. Just don't dab onto your person. It's her crown. You don't want to ruin her crown. Okay, how did you do? Because we are all finished. She is fully created. I think the only thing that I would want to do to fully complete this piece is to really just put a little bit more blue onto the wrap and onto the shirt. So I would just finish up this area here. Let me just center this a little bit more. Put more blue here. I think I did too much there. That's fine though. There. It looks a little bit more vibrant. And a little bit more on her head wrap. And just trying to make sure that we still follow the direction that we had when it comes to the folds of the head wrap. Just like so. And you'll see it's almost like you're doing some shading here because you're darkening certain areas. In some areas you're just leaving as is. There we go. And there you go. And she is completed. Just don't forget to sign your name because you did this and you deserve to have this credit. She's beautiful. You did a fantastic job. Because this area is wet, I'm probably going to put it in the dab area right now. You can wait till it dries to sign it, or you can just do it right now. I want to sign mine in this corner. I normally sign in like a corner or in an area that below. Small signature is fine because you created this piece and it's just beautiful. So here we go. I'm using white for mine, so it's still wet. Yeah, it's still a bit wet, but it's okay. There you go. Thank you for joining me for this paint night, and I really hope you enjoyed painting her crown with me. Thanks again.